Okay, so welcome back to the final part, part 4, where I do some analysis on a few products for you. And you know, it does help. It does help you to prepare for the week ahead. It does, you know, all of this is just really to build that bigger picture for you. You know, what's happened, what's likely to happen. Do I know everything? Of course not. But you know, with 50 years of experience in the markets, I've been through a lot of this time and time again. You know, I just hope to help you guys as much as possible. And of course, join our courses and get that real in-depth knowledge from me. Okay, so here comes our technical analysis. Our chart legend. So black numbers in the right hand column are support and resistance levels from trend lines. Now I've changed the brown line to a pink line. Nothing apart from the fact because when I've got pivot points on or something like that, or Fibonacci's, the pink line just stands out more. So that's for the breakout levels. So just remember that for the future, the pink level. And the claret numbers stay the same. They're just for horizontal levels where I can either identify and see where there's support and resistance in the markets, or they're based on double or triple tops and bottoms. Okay, so as usual, we start with the stock markets. And stocks ended the week really sort of on the back foot, pretty much on the lows. They just managed to sort of hold off of closing at the low, but as you can see from that, you know, after Monday they were just down. And now resistance I've got at 34,737. I've got a breakout support level at 33,448, and I've got support at 32,613. So yeah, there's a big gap in between them, but you know, I'm not just going to make levels up. If I can't see a decent level, I'm really not just going to put it on there. On the Dow, on the 30-minute, I've got 34,074 as resistance in that little downward channel I've got there, and 33,844 as the support level. So looking at the S&P, you know, it did have that sort of, did get back into that bull trend. Whether it can hold it or not, we'll have to wait a little bit longer to find out. But you know, it struggled second half of the week for sure, especially after Powell started to come out and say that there was probably more rate hikes to come, at least one or two, even though they're pausing for the last one. Okay, so with the S&P, I've got 44.81 as resistance and 44.27 with support at 42.14. So again, you know, there's an expand, you know, it's quite a wide channel there, so there's a lot of room for it to come down and still not really have broken out. On the 30-minute, I've got resistance at 44.04 and support at 43.80. And as you can see on Friday, the market held at S2 very nicely. Moving on to Nasdaq, sort of, yeah, it didn't, it came off at the highs, but it sort of went sideways for sort of the second half of the week. You know, just remember these are major tech stocks. So I've got resistance at 15,457. I've got support at 14,971, and I've got a support breakout level at 14,251. You know, the breakout level is just purely because once if it was to break that level, there's just not that much on the left hand side to sort of warrant support in the market. You know, I would expect it to have a good sell-off if it can break there. But again, always remember these are just my expectations, my view. On the 30-minute, I've got 15,139 as resistance, and I've got 14,968 as another breakout. Excuse me. Just popped one too far there. But I will just mention the daily levels, you know, because it's the Russell, it's small cap. I've got resistance at 1910 and support at 1739. Again, because they're small cap, you know, that they feel any consumer pressure really quickly. If demand drops, they're the first area that really sort of gets an idea that demand is dropping. And then on the 30-minute for the Russell, we've got 1851 as a resistance and 1828 as a support. The pound against the dollar, I've got 128.80. You know, I mean, it's had a big move up. It's been very strong. A bit of pound strength. God knows why, apart from rates going up, and also dollar weakness. But you know, the dollar did start to sort of recover a little bit at the end of the week. So I've got resistance at 128.80 with support at 126.84 and 124.88. But it still is in the uptrend, but it's a wide uptrend channel. And then looking at the 30-minute, again that bounced off of S1 on Friday, but I got resistance at 127.54 and 127.37 with support at 126.54 and 126.17. You know, the euro against the dollar, the euro does struggle to hold above that 110 level, that 111 level each time it does get up there. I have added the Fibonacci levels on there, and if we look at it, there's resistance at 110.67, support at 106.74, and then those Fib levels, in case you want to make a note of them, that could come into play again this week. 1.0903 is F1, 1.0854 is F2, which is the 50, and then the golden ratio is 108.06. And then if we look on the 30 minutes, you know, there's again not that much. I mean, I could have probably got on another angled line coming down there, but it wouldn't have got 3 touches. And you know, I do like 3 touches rather than just 2. So resistance 110.47 and 109.89 with support at 108.81 and 108.58. As I mentioned, with Bitcoin had a very strong week. And okay, so I've got resistance at 37.193 and 32.555 with support at 24.471. So yeah, ridiculously wide, but they'll get narrowed up when we look at the 30-minute. On the 30-minute, I've got resistance at 31.650. I've got support at 30.312 and 30.100. And of course, you know what sent that up, that market up, was that BlackRock have applied for a BTC ETF. Of course, whether it's approved or not is another matter. Now, a bit of a contrast. Instead of that divergence, we had convergence pretty much last week, and you know, that's with stocks dropping and of course Bitcoin rallying on the back of that potential for the ETF to be approved. You know, it'd be great news if they do finally get an ETF approved, and if it does, you know, I would expect to see prices higher. Again, just remember that's me. Okay, moving on to gold. Still sort of a little bit lackluster, really. Got resistance at 1973. I got support, which is sort of a little gap there between 1919 and 1906, and another support level way down at 1847. Gold fell along with the stocks last week. That sort of inverse relationship, risk on, risk off, certainly still isn't there at the moment, but when the central banks are in action, that's quite often the case. Looking at the 30-minute, got resistance at 1947 and 1931, with support at 1928 and 1990. Now, I would expect that 1931 on the offer or that 1928 for the support, either the resistance or the support, to get broken pretty quickly next week. Okay, so last but not least, WTI. As I've been mentioning in the earlier parts of what we do this week, is that it does seem a little bit range bound at the moment. And it's sort of 72.67 range. It's either got a $5 or a $10 range. I trade quite a lot of oil and strategies as well. And with strategies, I can decide how much volatility I want in my trade. So that's really useful. And again, happy to provide you with a course to help you to understand that. One thing to remember there is that is futures based, the strategies. Because we're playing the forward curve. Okay, so let's look at the chart, and I've got resistance at 72.62 with support at 67.38. Moving on to the 30-minute, I've got resistance at 72.65, so pretty much the same as the daily. Inside that, I've got resistance at 69.69. And I've got support at 67.28, which again is very close to the daily one. So yeah, it seems just that little bit range bound at the moment until we get a clearer picture on where the economy is going, or because that's going to impact demand, or whether OPEC are prepared to come in and cut yet again to try and force oil prices higher. So I hope this helps you with your own analysis. I hope it helps you with some of your decision making and preparing for your trading and your trading strategies for next week. And yeah, I mean, markets are so interesting, aren't they? It's just, I don't know about the central banks though. Right, finally, just one reminder of what we do now. So daily newsletter, if you want to find out what sort of the daily global news overnight's been and my views, then just subscribe to it. It's free. And then, if you're interested, we do provide chart levels and pivot points on the subscription service. Other things that we do are one-day workshops. Again, that's either just to sort of help you to decide whether trading could be your next career, maybe just as a second income, and of course, otherwise, if you're already trading, it can help you to fill in any gaps you may have. 1 week courses, we've got a few various ones there. One of them is an intensive one, which, again, will get you competent and confident in just 1 week. That's going to give you those foundations to build on. Not going to make you a trader, but within that week I will find out if you have that inner trader. And of course we do one now that includes a free trading challenge, so you know, in the hope that you can qualify for a funded account. Saves you using your money. And then the comprehensive accredited masterclass. This is designed to provide you with all the knowledge and trading tools required to navigate any market in any market conditions and across any asset class as well. Now, apart from that, if you're struggling or you want to improve and get to that next level, then I offer some trader mentoring. We consult to companies on FX and commodity exposure, and we provide trading educational content to individuals, exchanges and brokers. And of course, that funded account, if you're looking for one, our partner, it's definitely one of the best, if not the best, that's out there. What we love about it is it doesn't have any time constraints around it. which of course, takes a lot of that pressure away. And it's, it's very reasonably priced as well. And if you've got any sort of questions or you'd like more details on any of our courses, then it's info@cymaxfintech.com. Anything you'd like to ask me around trading, it's chris.tubby@cymax-int.com. That just leaves me to wish you a great week coming up. And of course, as usual, be lucky. Take care. Hope to see you next week. Bye for now.